Welcome back to the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about things that you should be excited for with the Indigo Disc. We are now a week out if you're in the US, or 8 days out if you're not in the US, from Scarlet and Violet's final DLC, at least that we know about. I think it'll be the last one, but you know. The Indigo Disc drops on the 13th for the US, the 14th for the rest of the world. We get it early. We don't really get it early. We just, time zones are tricky that way. Everybody gets it at the same time. It just happens to be the 13th for us, and then happens to be the 14th for the rest of the world. But by the way, it's very concerning that some of y'all actually seem to think that we're getting it early. That's a whole nother can of worms we're not going to open today. But the point is that, yeah, there's a lot to be excited for with this DLC. I think when we're talking about a future Pokemon project, there's obviously a lot of negativity, right? At least as a content creator, that's something I see a lot in my comments, is a lot of, like, no, it sucks, and stuff like that. So, I wanted to spread a little pokey positivity and just say there actually is a lot to look forward to. So, first off, new Pokemon, which, is the biggest reason I think most of us play the game. Yeah, there's going to be new Pokemon. We already know about Archaludon, that's going to be appearing here, an evolution to Duraludon. We know that there's going to be Terapagos, the brand new legendary, which is also really exciting because we've been, kind of focused on Terapagos for a while now. That's a Pokemon we knew about when Scarlet and Violet was very first released over a year ago now. We saw the book, we saw this third legendary world turtle Pokemon, we were hyped about it, and then we finally got the announcement on Pokemon Day of Terapagos, and that it would be kind of the main focus of the Indigo Disc. Now we're going to see it all play out, guys. We've watched it run around the anime, it's freaking adorable there. Now, it all comes together, and that's another really thing to be excited about. Just to derail real quickly before we go back to the new Pokemon, is that, this DLC is going to be tying together the story of Scarlet and Violet. We know that there are plot elements from the main story of Scarlet and Violet and the story of Teal Mask that are going to be tied together with a nice little bow for Christmas on this DLC in the Indigo Disc, and I, for one, am very excited about that. We know there's the stuff with Kieran going on, and we know there's the stuff there's going to be a return to Area Zero, and probably an explanation on Paradox Pokemon. At least that's what I'm hoping for, but again, we'll see. But yeah, on that note, there's honestly a lot to be excited for just from that, we're going to get a conclusion to this story. We're going to get answers to things that maybe we didn't have answers for. Also, do make sure that you have beaten the Teal Mask, and you have beaten Scarlet and Violet's main story through the way home, so that you can play the Indigo Disc, because you will not be able to play it if you haven't done those two things, so do that. But yeah, back to the new Pokemon. We also know that there's going to be Paradox Pokemon of Raikou and Cobalion. There's Raging Bolt and Iron Crown. And guys, let's just be real, right? The fact that we have Paradox Pokemon of Suicune and Virizion, and now we have Paradox Pokemon of Raikou and Cobalion, there's totally going to be Paradox Pokemon, or Paradox versions of Entei and Terrakion as well. I mean, come on now. There's other Pokemon that have been kind of teased. We know that an Eviolite works on Dipplin. That's kind of weird, so I would say there's a pretty good chance that Dipplin's going to be evolving in the Indigo Disc, and that will be very fun to see. I'm very, very, very excited for that. And then we also have what the fan base has kind of affectionately named Dokutaro due to how it's listed in coding. But its name will not be Dokutaro. It's this Peach Pokemon that seems to be the master of the Loyal Three. The Loyal Three are actually servants to a Pokemon, and it seems that this Pokemon is this little Peach guy. And you can also even see him in Scarlet and Violet at the little Peachy's shop over in Mossui Town. So that's really exciting. Lots of new Pokemon there. I'm that alone, right? But even aside from that, this is going to be a very fresh experience for Pokemon players. Traditionally, single battles have been the main focus of the games unless you're a VGC player, right? There might be a double battle gym here and there, Rhyme uses a double battle team in Scarlet and Violet, and then we do also have Liza and Tate from, or is it Liza and Tate? I don't know. But, the psychic gym leaders over in the Hoenn region, they also are double battles. But primarily, Pokemon is a single battles game. not the metagame, but the actual story, right? That's not the case with Indigo Disc. With Indigo Disc, all the battles are going to be double battle. So I think that's a very fresh experience. I know a lot of people, including myself for the record, prefer single battles, but I'm excited to be forced to do something a little out of my element, right? I'm going to actually enter VGC competitions next year. I'm actually already entered for the Charlotte Regionals in January. So the fact that, I get some prep, that's pretty exciting. And, from the previews, we know that these double battles are, at least the Elite Four members, are supposed to be a good bit harder. They're using competitive double strategies. They've got items on all their Pokemon. So, it's not going to be a total walk in the park, which I think, as Pokemon fans, that's what we're used to. Then there's the new features, right? There's going to be new features in this game. There's going to be like a little room where you can decorate it and you can have old gym leaders return, and you can, not old like past games, but like the ones you battled in Scarlet and Violet, and you can battle them again. You can trade Pokemon with them. So like that's kind of cool for, people who like to collect, different Pokemon with like marks and with different original trainers and stuff like that. You'll be able to get like, I don't know that specifically Crabominable, but like say a Crabominable that is actually Kofu's, right? Or maybe a Arboliva that is Katie's. I don't know, again, or I guess that would be Brassius. Katie is the bug leader. Maybe you get a Lokix, that's Katie's. I don't know. But the point is, you're going to be able to get these different Pokemon that, are going to have, like, they're going to be something that in Gen 20, when you bring your Lokix into Gen 20, you'll see OT Katie, and you'll know, that's from that gym leader chick way back in the Paldea region. That's kind of cool to me. I don't know, maybe that's just me, maybe I'm crazy, but I like that a lot. We also know that this room in question will also allow you to change like your throwing style, which just is the kind of small quality of life updates and features that I enjoy. It just makes the game a little more immersive. I like that now I can throw in a way that not every single person that I battle is throwing in. A lot of them will be, I'm sure, but, not every one of them. So that's really neat. Again, maybe that's just a me thing. There's going to be new clothing options. We know that because there is, at the very least, the new Blueberry Academy uniform. One thing I'm really excited for that actually came up in the previews was that a lot of the music kind of pays homage to the Unova music, the music that we got in the Pokemon Black and White games, because the Blueberry Academy is in the Unova region. And that, to me, is crazy exciting because, that means that, like, that's some great music. I mean, honestly, that's some really good music. We do also have some just really interesting characters appearing, like Drayton, who's clearly a, relative of Drayden, and it's going to be fun to see if, Drayden gets mentioned, or if maybe he even appears. I don't know. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for the Unova references. Black and White, Black 2 and White 2 were great games, and I'm excited to see them get some love outside of like a traditional remake or a Legend style game, right? Like this is just love in a DLC for a, Iberian based region, so it's kind of random, but I love it. On the note of this tying some story bits together, there are some things that we know are going to get further clarification. Again, we're returning to Area Zero, so we're going to get some more answers to Area Zero. I do think that there's a chance they leave a lot of it a mystery, because I think that's kind of what they're going for, right? It's like Area Zero and Paradox Pokemon are in nature, like, just these mysteries, these enigmas. They're kind of like the Bigfoots of the Pokemon world. It would be a little lame if you explained it in full, honestly. I think some of the hype around these Pokemon come from us kind of having no idea what they are, how they function, things like that. So maybe they leave a lot of it a mystery, and I'm all here for that. But they will give us some answers, and I'm definitely here for that too. We also know that our own Pokemon, Koraidon, Miraidon, we're going to get some more story to them, because we see that one of the challenges that we do for the Blueberry League is we do a challenge where we fly on our Koraidon, Miraidon. Not just glide, we actually fly. And they're given a little supplement to allow them to do that. And they keep teasing, like they said in the Presents, and then they also said on the official website, that maybe one day this latent power will be fully unlocked, ... So, you ask me, after the Area Zero plot, we're going to be able to actually fly on these things. That's really cool. And then there is the fact that, historically, Pokemon likes to, hold some cards, right? Like they haven't shown us everything about this, right? Like even when I was telling you about the new Pokemon, we haven't seen Paradox Entei, Terrakion, the Diplin evolution, or the little Peach Pokemon. We haven't seen those, but we pretty much know they're coming. So that's really cool to think about. Like, if all that's left a mystery, what features are left a mystery, There'll probably be some kind of Dynamax Adventure style thing where we can get old legendary Pokemon. There's probably going to be some new features that, I can't think of. There might be some multiplayer stuff. Something else that pops into my head is we saw in the previews that BP, Battle Points, is making a return. So maybe we see a return of a battle facility. I don't know. I'd like it. I'm not too hopeful, but we'll see. But yeah, there's all kinds of things to look forward to in this DLC. And I wanted to spread some positivity. Let me know in the comments below what you're most excited about for this DLC. Oh, by the way, returning Pokemon too, which is like really cool now. It's more than it was in Sword and Shield because you get to see the new models of these Pokemon, the new textures and all, and it's almost like they're new Pokemon. Like, it gives me a much higher sense of excitement than it did when they were turning out of Armor and Crown Tundra. All the stars are back. So much to be excited for. Let me know your favorite thing, the thing you're most excited for in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss all of our future videos. And until next time, I will see all of you later.